Hello everybody, welcome back to the Quick Take and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'll be analysing how Ten Hag has set up at United and determining whether Mason Mount will fit into his system. If you haven't already, make sure you've liked the video. Today's like goal is 400 likes. Okay, let's get into it. Now, when the news broke that Mason Mount had apparently agreed personal terms to join Manchester United, I was in the middle of writing a video analysing Klopp's Liverpool and Ten Hag's United in order to determine which would be the best fit for the English midfielder. Of course, it appears this decision has been made for me. Am I shocked? No. But I am surprised. As I'm writing this, it's the 1st of June, the season's just ended and United are already making quite impactful moves to prepare for the upcoming season. Whilst researching this video, I found Statman Dave's and United People's TV's breakdowns for Ten Hag's tactics at United to be most intriguing and very insightful. Make sure you go check them out. At Ajax, Ten Hag was a big admirer of the 4-2-3-1, and when the Dutchman made the move to Manchester, it appeared this would be a system brought over with little to no issue. It's a safe, strong system that creates useful passing lanes, attacking opportunities, and defensive stability. Although, much like Pochettino, Ten Hag made a few minor tweaks to his system and transformed it into a goal machine, scoring 102 goals from 51 games, averaging 2 goals per 90. This season, Ten Hag's 4-2-3-1 has actually been more of a 4-3-3, with Casemiro playing as a lone 6, whilst Bruno Fernandes and Fred play as 8s in the midfield. Now, I must point out just how important Bruno Fernandes is to Ten Hag's United. Bruno is a player who is able to play his position across the field, at times moving into areas you would think to be inhabited by fullbacks before receiving the ball and creating something not many people would have seen coming. This is a somewhat unique ability that plays to Bruno's strengths immeasurably. You see, if Ten Hag were to stick with the 4-2-3-1 and just play Bruno as a number 10 behind the striker and flanked by wide forwards like Rashford and Antony, you'd think Bruno would bag goals and assists left, right and centre. But no. The qualities demanded of a number 10 are just not suited to the Portuguese man, and so the 8 is where he stays. It is my belief Mason Mount would slide into the midfield 3 next to Bruno and ahead of Casemiro, replacing Fred. Mason has had a particularly poor season, exaggerated by the drop-off in form when compared to previous seasons. The two-time Chelsea Player of the Year recipient, when in form, provides incredible energy in the midfield. One of his biggest issues is how he's been deployed during his time at Chelsea. Under Tuchel, he was at times a forward. Same story with Potter. He was forced into a system which didn't necessarily put him into the right position to really get the best out of him and his abilities. That's not to say he was useless. In fact, it could stand as a testament to his flexibility with how well he did playing in these off positions, so to speak. This problem would continue under Pochettino, who plays a double pivot, 3 forwards and 1 striker. Not much room for a natural 8. The only position I could maybe envision him filling under Pochettino would be the right-sided forward, similarly to Christian Eriksen's role during Pochettino's time at Spurs. I went into more detail on my Pochettino breakdown, however in short, Eriksen would drop deeper or into more central positions, creating passing lanes and as a result, chances. This was an incredibly successful adjustment and made Eriksen one of Tottenham's most prized possessions. But at the end of the day, that was Christian Eriksen and not Mason Mount. Mason Mount's strengths come from his athleticism. As stated earlier, he is full of energy, and so to use him in a press-oriented system like Ten Hag's, you would be getting the best out of Mason Mount. He has fantastic tenacity in that number 8 role and showed it during Lampard's first term as Chelsea manager, where he was deployed in his more natural position. Mount's off-the-ball movement will also be appreciated by Ten Hag, preemptively moving into spaces which allow for an easier escape route from the opponent's press, whether this be an attempt to dribble or a long ball over the top, both of which progress the play forward, linking the midfield to the attack. I have watched United play quite a few times this season. I am a football connoisseur and a fan of the United Stand host Mark Goldbridge. I find his streams to be highly entertaining and I would love to work with him in the future. I don't see eye to eye with him on a lot of the views he has specifically regarding Chelsea, and so to discuss these views, to me, would be highly insightful and fun. However, I digressed. I can see Mason fitting quite well into this United side. Again, under Tuchel and under Potter, Mount has been arguably mismanaged and was chucked into the starting lineup because even if he wasn't playing to the peak of his powers, to not have him on the field would still harm the chances of walking away from the game with all 3 points. In this lineup, you can see how Mount fits in. Wan-Bissaka likes to press up the field, causing havoc on the right-hand side with the opponent. Luke Shaw, on the other hand, stays further back, providing a little more defensive stability in the high-press nature that is the Ten Hag side. Casemiro stays back and drifts into areas which need his presence, for example the void left by Wan-Bissaka as he presses up the field. This essentially leaves a front line of Rashford, potentially Harry Kane or Rasmus Højlund or even Kolo Muani, and Antony or Sancho with Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes acting as playmakers and technical eights behind the attack. In the 21-22 season, Mount's best season for Chelsea, he recorded 13 goals and 16 assists in 53 matches, averaging a goal contribution almost every other game. So, although Mount's had an off-season, it could be argued 95% of the Chelsea squad has had an off-season. He is certainly not alone in his lack of form. This shows that Mount clearly possesses a goal threat, making him a very attractive player for an attacking-oriented side, including Manchester United. In all honesty, I wish things had gone differently with Mount. To see him play in another shirt other than a Chelsea or England shirt will pain me. Overall, he's been a good player for us over the years. When the transfer ban came in, we had to rely on the youngsters and the low knees. Mount stepped up, and for that, I thank him. I do understand why he may believe he is entitled to a hefty contract, similar to Raheem Sterling, who's currently earning £325,000 a week, or even Reece James, a fellow academy counterpart who is on £250,000 a week. The fact of the matter is, Raheem Sterling was a special case where the owners really didn't have the best understanding as to Sterling's true worth. He was one of their first signings, and they have certainly learnt their lesson. Reece James is a top 3 in the world right back, and so the high wages are both a reward for his efforts and a deterrent for clubs who may attempt to entice him away with a better financial package, similarly to what Manchester United are doing for Mount. The fact of the matter is, there are many players who are better than Mount in his position, making him replaceable and therefore less valuable to the owners. If I had to give a prediction, I would say United will end up spending £70 million for Mason Mount's signature, and the Englishman will become a highly reliable player for them, very consistent. He may even score against us, but I doubt he'll celebrate. Well, that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you think Mason Mount will get on at United? How much do you think we'll get for him? What kind of videos do you want to see from me in the future? I'll be reading every comment and even responding to a few. Remember, today's like goal is 400 likes. If we could hit that, it would be massively appreciated. Every like and every comment helps me massively in the algorithm and push my videos to more and more people and grow the community that I love so much. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.